It's on mute.
It'd be good when they build that scaffolding.
They used to have a decent one.
Yeah, I remember.
Council
I remember. That was actually it was better than this.
Yeah, for sure. I actually liked it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the council actually.
Yeah.
I wonder what the council actually said. Because it seemed pretty good to me.
It seemed, pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the one that they build is like.
Yeah. Luckily, I was here because the guy was asking me, how high does this need to be? I'm saying higher because it's being blocked by that.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to go?
Tonight we've got the under 11 boys escorting the players out when they come out the ground. Please let's give them the biggest round of applause before this exciting game. Wishing both teams the best of luck once again. May the best man in the team win, and may you all have a brilliant evening.
Match day 4 of the 2025 NPL Victoria season. Summer has just about come and passed. And on this late February Friday evening, we have a stoush between two of last season's finalists who go rumbling in the Rangers. Dandenong City return home after that late drama in the Dandenong derby last week. A 98th minute George Lambatterides goal stole a point at George Andrews' reserve. And Nick Tolios' side with 3 consecutive draws out of the gate. But Hajduk are hungry for a win tonight against the Hume City side that, outside of a 10-minute Lloyd Isgrove burst on match day 2, would otherwise be winless themselves. So two teams looking to kick on in season 2025 here at the Frank Holohan Soccer Complex. Brent Sternberg is my name. Glad you can join me on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel this evening. Here's how they line up then, and Nick Tolios has made 4 changes from the side that drew 2-2 with the Thunder in the derby last week. Gaku Inaba and Jamie Latham return to the starting 11. George Lambatterides, who scored that late goal, comes in for his first start of the year. And it's also a starting debut for Yaqub Mustafa, who makes his first Dandenong City start on this, his 26th birthday today. So it's Pierce Clark in goal and a back 4 in front of him of Corey Sewell, Gaku Inaba, Jack Webster and Jackson Lino. The 2 defensive midfielders are the 2 gentlemen who scored in the derby last week for Hajduk, Thomas Giannakopoulos and George Lambatterides. Jamie Latham plays in midfield. He'll be flanked by Will Bauer and Yaqub Mustafa, and again Kenny Athew leads the line. Tim Atharinos, Varley Sesnick, Nathan Hancock and Danny Kim all started the derby last week. They go back to the bench today. They're joined by Diego Cuba and the reserve goalkeeper is Matthew Murram. Two changes from the Hume City side that drew 1-1 with Green Gully last Friday night, and there's a couple of big ones. Michael Domfey and Lloyd Isgrove will start on the bench. They are replaced, I should say, by Oliver Kellart and Godfrey Tabele. Michael Weir in goal, with a back four of Joseph Ford, the goal scorer last week, Harry Ashcroft, Asen Ishak and Mark Ocheng. A four-man midfield of Oliver Kellart, Josh O'Kane, Bakan Kurda and captain Josh Bingham. The strike partnership this evening to be the returning Godfrey Tabele and Joel Russell. So Michael Domfey and Lloyd Isgrove start from the bench, where they are joined by Obiora Eze, Dennis Yildiz and Mehmet Oysal. The reserve goalkeeper for Riccardo Marchioli's side is Damon Camilleri. Your referee for this evening is Lucas Matea. The assistants on the sidelines, Luke Veira and Reza Hassini, and the fourth official down below us is Leo Janurgasevic. So Dandenong City in their new kits for this season, the white shirts, blue shorts and socks, and Hume City in their customary red shirts this evening. So away we go, the final Friday night of the summer, and a tale of two cities. Dandenong City unfulfilled through the first three games, 3 draws. Desperate to get on the winners list for the first time this evening. And Hume City, who might be a little bit disappointed with how their season has started. A win, a draw and a loss. Not in that order, but that is what they are on the table. And a 1-1 draw with Green Gully last week that they may have been a little bit disappointed with. They would have gone to the Gully last weekend expecting to win that match. Hume City in their red kits, as I mentioned, going from left to right, and Dandy City from a right to left. Here is Kenny Atthew on the edge of the 18-yard box. Lino goes right past Oliver Kellart and now can whip across into the near post, where it's somewhat dealt with by Harry Ashcroft and picked up by Josh Bingham. Receiving 1-2 with Oliver Kellart. Now here is Joel Russell looking to play it back into Josh Bingham, who looks like it is the Hume City captain who is starting up front this evening alongside Joel Russell. And it looks like Godfrey Tabele starting out on the left wing is on the ball right now, and on this near wing the Sri Lankan international Oliver Kellart. There are a bunch of games going on this evening in the top flight of Victorian football. We'll look to try and keep you abreast of those this evening as the evening wears on. A nice night here in the Ranges. 26 degrees today in Melbourne. It's cooled off ever so slightly. A little bit of a breeze, certainly nothing as oppressive as what we experienced here on match day 1 when Dandenong City drew 3-3 with St Albans. Harry Ashcroft on the ball now for Hume City, scorer of the goal last week from a corner kick. Hume City taking the lead away from home, and it was then a penalty scored by the former Hume City man Amir Abdullah, now in the green and white of Green Gully, scoring in the closing stages of the first half. In the end, that was all the scoring that was done, as Joseph Ford is taken down rather unceremoniously by Will Bauer. Wonderful pickup in the off-season, Joseph Ford, player with A-League experience. The Perth Glory recruited him from Ireland. He's playing for Waterford. He gets his 4th consecutive start at right back for Hume City this evening. This is a matchup between two teams that played finals last season, suffering different fates in the elimination finals. Hume City winning that incredible, dramatic penalty shootout against Heidelberg United, a match that had a very lengthy lightning delay, as well as all the action on the pitch. Hume City emerging in the penalty shootout, and of course Dandenong City finishing in 6th, losing out to the eventual champions, the Oakley Cannons. Will Bauer, I think, was trying to find Jackson Lino there, didn't make great purchase. Joseph Ford has been in amongst a lot already in the opening minutes here. Dandy City win a foul right on halfway. Webster Good Mustafa, who started out on the right wing for Dandenong City, has appeared off the bench for Nick Tolios' side in their first 3 matches. Looking to make an impact starting tonight. Corey Sewell, a lovely timed ball here for George Lambatarides, who bangs one into the back post. Will Bauer was there, but it was an errant one that goes away and behind for a corner kick. Kerdar and Lambatarides go to battle in midfield. And now Kerdar's brought down by Lambatarides. There's no foul. Ball stuck somewhere underneath. And now Hume City will come forward. Russell. DeBelle's gotten in behind Corey Sewell. He's brought down by Corey Sewell. And this is going to be a free kick in a nice area for the away side. Is there also to be a colour-coded warning? We're still only early on. Corey Sewell, I think, just panicking ever so slightly, did not want to let DeBelle get any further past him. And so, a set piece adjacent to the 18-yard box. And it looks like Bakan Kerdar will try and conjure something here for Hume City, former Dandenong Thunder and Melbourne Victory player. Kerdar in for the back post. Clawed away by Pierce Clark, not all that convincingly, and then helped further afield by his defensive mates. Pierce Clark, who made a couple of tremendous saves in the first half in the Dandenong Derby last week, playing against his former side, you might remember, was with the Thunder last season. Yeah, cameraman James just a little bit worried about the soccer ball coming in there. His camera's already copped one whack this evening. Here's Atthew in the corner. Ashcroft and Ford come over to dispossess him, and they do. Nick Tolios down below us, not a happy man. He's certain that his striker earned a foul there. Lucas Matea didn't see anything. Nothing untoward anyway. Then Lambatarides for Atthew, and now Mustafa. Lovely little interplay. Here's Latham. Turning around and now retreating back for Jack Webster. Gaku Inaba, his second start of the season after starting in that 3-3 draw against the Albans on match day 1. Giannakopoulos, a brilliant strike to break things open in the derby last week. It was adjudged the NPL Victoria goal of the round. Lovely diagonal there from Giannakopoulos. Here's Bauer in towards the 18-yard box. Ashcroft hasn't quite cleared the area. Here's Callard. Out of bounds. Well captured by Nick Tolios. Just starting to have some good early moments here, Dandenong City. Bauer shoots, and it was dipping. It was curving. Not quite in time. And worth a shot. Over and behind for a goal kick. And much to the relief of the Hume City goalkeeper, Michael Weir. Mentioned that dramatic penalty shootout against Heidelberg United in the elimination final last season. It was ultimately his 2 saves that meant that Hume City's season went 1 game extra. And the decisive save at the end, denying Mohamed Aidara. Hume City probably come here tonight as slight favourites. They did beat Dandenong City here last time they played 4-2. That was on match day 22 last season. There were a lot of goals scored late that night. Hume City did lead 3-0 before Brad Plant came off the bench to score 2 stoppage time goals before a late Umut Bozdogan goal wrapped up a 4-2 win for Hume City. Here's Oliver Callard twisting and turning, and his cross into the box was smothered by Lino and away by Inaba. Ishak Well done there by Russell riding the challenge. Bingham looking back for Russell. He was crowded in amongst the white shirts by the time the ball got back there, but a nice little bit of interplay on the fringes of the front third for Hume City. Strong challenge there from Bauer, who then wins the foul. That match day 22 meeting between these sides was, of course, the second matchup of two last season. They did play out a 0-0 draw match day 9 over in Broadmeadows. It's the 17th league meeting between the two. The series, if you will, is deadlocked at 7 wins apiece with 2 draws. And they haven't played a lot at Frank Holohan in recent times. 5 of the previous 7 games have been at Hume. Of course, this is Dandenong City's 3rd home game of 4 to start the season. Jamie Latham, I think, has been fouled for just drifting offside there. Ascroft wanting to get things moving quickly, too quickly. I'm not sure if you can see it, but down below, Riccardo Marchioli, the Hume City manager, just getting some instructions from our 4th official. We're seeking some advice, I think, on something that he saw that he didn't like. Jackson Leno's pass for Kenny Atthew was a little bit errant, but Jackson Leno has started this season in fine form for Dandenong City. ...20 appearances last season, 15 starts. Probably one of Dandenong City's better players in the derby last week. There were a few City players that probably weren't quite at the top of their game, hence the 4 changes for this matchup. Of course, it was an unchanged starting 11 last week for the Dandy derby. The same 11 that drew 2-2 with Preston the week previous. Just to recap how Dandenong City have started this season. 3 straight draws, 3-3 against Dynamo here on match day 1. Then the 2-2 draw with Preston. And then the 2-2 draw with the Thunder last week in the derby. And despite the fact that they haven't lost this season, Dandenong City, obviously 3 draws, 3 points. They've only led for a total of 23 minutes. Corey Sewell loves to play the long ball. And Mustafa pulled up. I think he might have been anticipated the offside flag. The ball drifts out of play. Getting a little bit cooler now at the Frank Holohan Soccer Complex as the sun disappears. Not as hot a day in Melbourne as we have had this week, and certainly not as hot as last weekend. The Dandenong derby that I've mentioned a few times, that City played in against the Thunder, 34 degrees. One of those really sticky, horrible days that even by the end of the match, the temperature was still in the early 30s. So those 4 changes may be as much as trying to keep the players healthy and fresh, as opposed to just relegating to the bench based on performances. It is a long, long season in the NPL Victoria. 26-game regular season, of course. It is a long season in the NPL Victoria. Hume City were in the top 6 all season last year. First time that they returned to the finals for a little while is Bingham. Receives from Kedar. Ford comes in to join the attack. His cross goes right across the 18-yard box. And Joel Russell just couldn't quite contort his body to make anything of it. These two teams just feeling one another out through the first, we'll call it 13 minutes. It's been a relatively cagey opening. The only real opportunity was that long-range snatching effort from Will Bow that just tipped over the crossbar. Dandenong City turn it over in midfield. Here comes DeBelle trying to get past Inaba, and then he bangs into Jack Webster, who wins the foul. And once again, the Hume City coaches down below us are up asking the question. The question of why. I think they've got a point as well. Just looked like a robust coming together there. Godfrey DeBelle back into the starting 11 this evening. He did start that loss at Preston on match day 1, scored in that match. Well, here is Ishak. Not taking too many chances, bangs that one up and down the chimney and eventually behind for the game's first corner kick for Dandenong City. Godfrey DeBelle was playing for the Gold Coast Knights in the NPL Queensland last year. Hume City recruited a handful of players from that particular club. So just shy of the quarter hour mark, an opportunity here from the corner kick for Dandenong City. It's a left-footed, not an in-swinger from Will Bauer. He finds Latham and looking for Bauer, something that I think they had worked on the training pitch, Dandenong City, and they might have to go back to the training pitch during the week and continue to perfect it. Dandenong City have been averaging the most corner kicks per game of any team this season. That's probably just about the worst of them. They did have 10 in the Dandenong Derby last week. It felt like 5 or 6 of those come in the last 10 minutes. Eventually it was George Lambatarides with that 98th minute equaliser. Obviously the latest goal that we have had scored so far in 2025. That's saying something. We've had a lot of goals already scored this year in second half stoppage time. Hume City have scored a couple of their own. They're the only team actually to have scored multiple goals in second half stoppage time so far this season. Long ball forward for City is mopped up easily by Joseph Ford. And his long ball will find Bingham, who was trying to get the ball under his spell. I think he missed that on both occasions. And Josh Bingham, who I alluded to in the preamble, is on an 8-game scoreless streak, goalless streak in the league, the Hume City captain. As Latham gets on the end of the header from Mustafa. I think he was trying to lay it off to his winger. I don't think Yakub was quite on the same page. Here's Lambatarides. Latham turns and plays it into the 18-yard box. Not quite away by Ishak. Bauer's header. I was looking for Athieu, but in amongst all of that, Asen Ishak was fouled. If Josh Bingham doesn't score tonight, that will be obviously 9 goals in the league in which he hasn't scored. That will be his longest dry spell since joining Hume City in 2020. The last goal that Bingham did score was in that Australia Cup quarter-final against South Melbourne, that Hume City ended up losing. They are sick to death of South Melbourne. Hume City, they were eliminated by South in every competition that they were in last season. Cullard on the back shoulder here, jumps into Jackson Lena with another foul going the way of Dandenong City, and once again the Hume City folk below us are up and out of their chair. Yeah, Hume City were eliminated by South Melbourne in the semi-final in the league. That was the game that went to extra time. They were eliminated in the quarterfinals of the Australia Cup, as I mentioned, by South Melbourne, and they were eliminated by South in the semi-finals of the Doherty Cup. Russell and Inaba tangle up in midfield. Here's O'Kane. Bursting forward for Hume City. Great little play. Russell, his first time ball into the 18-yard box. Good communication there between Piers Clark and Jack Webster. And Josh O'Kane, a 21-year-old Hume City product. It's his 9th season here. at Hume City. He joined Hume City in 2017. Joined the under-13s that year. Another foul going the way of Dandenong City. This time, Josh Bingham, the perpetrator. Jackson Leno once again is fouled. And this surely cannot be much longer before we see a yellow card brandished. And now we've got words between both managers down below us. Ricardo Marchioli is, I think, questioning that some of these Dandenong City players are maybe going down a little bit soft. And as you can imagine, there is quite a retort coming from Nick Tolios. Back to the action. There's a free kick here for Dandenong City and Gaku Inaba. A relatively feisty and spiteful opening 20 minutes here at Frank Holohan. Dandenong City have pushed their players up. Leno's ball into the box, though, is a comfortable one for any goalkeeper, let alone the goalkeeper of Michael Weir's talents. An early release for Russell, trying to head it down to someone in the vicinity. It's popped up by Webster. Mustafa, Sewell. Latham makes the run now. He is quick. Jamie Latham. He's in a foot race with Ishak. Ishak wins the foot race and does well also to let the ball run out of play. And so it's a goal kick rather than a corner kick. Jamie Latham, who makes his first start since match day one, has had a pretty good impact the past couple of weeks off the bench for Dandenong City. Has the former Green Gully and Moreland City man. He's a Welshman, one of two Welshmen that we have in this match. If you have maybe just tuned in and joined us a little bit late and you're wondering why you haven't seen the number 7 out there for Hume City, Lloyd Isgrove is on the bench tonight. Here's Will Bauer. Latham is just popping up everywhere in the front third for Hajduk. Leno. Yanakopoulos, look out. Oh, he didn't see Russell coming in from the blind side. Another turnover in midfield. Kidar. For Bingham. Has Russell ahead of him. He's flanked by DeBelle. DeBelle's would-be cross is well blocked by Corey Sewell. Well, they've threatened to push forward menacingly a couple of times, Hume City, but not a lot to show for it. We'll throw in for DeBelle, who hits it and didn't quite get the purchase that he needed. It goes whizzing past the near post and Pierce Clark just watches it go over and out. I did mention earlier it's the 17th league meeting between these two sides. They first met in the league back on Saturday, April the 30th, 1988. A match day 5 clash in the Metropolitan League Division 4. Chelsea, Hajduk defeating Holland Park 4-0 at Holland Park Reserve. Holland Park, now known as Hume City. Of course, Chelsea, the team we now know as Dandenong City. Inaba again with that long ball. He's looking for Jackson Leno. He should be able to track this one down. He'd have to be one of Hajduk's fastest players. He's not quite able to salvage it. That was an early season clash between the two teams that would go on to be promoted from that division. Holland Park finishing on top of the table and ending that season as champions. Chelsea finishing in second. They both played one another in the State League Division 3 the following season before Chelsea were promoted again. The double bounce. They didn't play one another in the league for another 10 years. So there's another turnover in midfield. Lambatarides is happy to retreat for Will Bauer. Yeah, they didn't meet again until they were in the State League Division 4 together once again in 1997 and 1998 before Chelsea were relegated. And it would be 20 years before they would meet one another in the league. 2019 when Dandenong City were promoted from the second tier up into the top division. been playing one another ever since in the top flight, bar 2023 when Dandenong City were in the second division. Mustafa runs straight into DeBelle on that far side. Kidder. Oh, a neat little turn. Latham in pursuit. Brings him down. And no foul, which is rather surprising. And the Hume City coaches have been up and down throughout this first half. That one they are, I think, within their rights to be a little bit perplexed by. Well, they are down below us, feeling that they have not had the rub of the green here so far. A long road trip for them from west to east. Sewell, ball in, looking for Will Bow at the back post, but once again captured by Michael Weir. Ford. Oh, Kidder did well to take control of that. That was a hot pass coming at him. Not a bad diagonal ball, but DeBelle just needed this pitch to be maybe a couple of metres wider. And just on that 1988 championship that Holland Park won, that is still Hume City's most recent league championship. They have undergone a couple of amalgamations and name changes since then, but the club that we now know as Hume City, that was their last league championship in 1988, 37 years. A little bit going just off the play here. Dandenong City play on. Bauer and Ford getting tangled up. Latham. Here's Jackson Leno. Oh, into the back post. Michael Weir is back pedaling. But once again, no trouble. And once again, some words between our two managers down below us. Of course, Hume City, since that championship in 1988, have gained promotion on 4 separate occasions, but on each occasion they were not the champions. Just as a comparison, Dandenong City in that time have won 5 championships, league championships, that is. Here's Jack Webster. Sewell. Been a good battle between he and DeBelle through the early stages of this match. Here's Mustafa. Brings it down nicely. Latham splits the 2 red shirts. Now a shout for a handball. That Lucas Matea waves away. Josh O'Kane, I think it was, that it may have hit in the 18-yard box. Well, there was... The question was being asked more feverishly by Nick Tolios than the players that were out there, it should be said. Been a fascinating first 26 or 27 minutes here. It hasn't really been dominated by either side in terms of possession, certainly not chances. Still just that Will Bauer snapshot volley that he had from outside the 18-yard box that dipped harmlessly over the crossbar. Other than that, no real goalmouth action to tell you about. Bingham brought down beautifully, and then the back heel from Kellart. Here is Giannakopoulos taking evasive action. Ford. Back for Ashcroft. O'Kane dances past. Lambatarides in midfield and blows by Giannakopoulos. DeBelle, he's got Russell in the 18-yard box. DeBelle likes to run at the defence. DeBelle looking to try and get it back into the mix, but it's gone off the blue socks of the Dandenong City defenders and behind for a Hume City corner. And I think Jack Webster and Yaqub Mustafa asking about a foul potentially in the build-up play. Those calls go unheeded. Burkhan Kerdar. This is how they cracked open their goal last week. Hume City, it was a Burkhan Kerdar delivery for Harry Ashcroft. As we meander our way towards the half-hour mark, Lucas Matea just has a little bit of cleaning up to do here and some delivering of messages to the players. It's a very crowded back post Ashcroft is there being watched by Webster. It comes into the near post. Russell was there, and then it's headed over the bar by Oliver Callart, and it really should be Hume City 1-0. Wow, that is the best opportunity of the match. Oliver Callart, with the ball came to him. It was Russell who got the first contact, and the net was there. It was beckoning, it was gaping for the Sri Lankan international. He just wasn't able to get it on target. Best opportunity of the match goes the way of the boys in red. It's a poor clearance there by Pierce Clark. We will endeavour to take you around the grounds in just a moment. As DeBelle's back into the 18-yard box, Russell can't get past Inaba, who steps in and wins the ball back for Dandenong City. There are four matches going on around the place in the top division this evening. This game is one of those four. Of course, the marquee matchup tonight is Heidelberg United and Preston reacquainting themselves with one another. That game at the home of the Matildas. And I can tell you, we're just about half-time in that one. It's still locked at 0-0. Preston been a terrific addition to the top flight this season. Been pulling big crowds as they do. Here's Mark Ocheng. Kedar. You can see Dandenong City are very quick to close down the space when Kedar is on the ball. That is a wicked diagonal after a tight little turn that would have disoriented a lot of players. A player of the quality of Burkhan Kedar just ever so slightly overcooked for Callart, who must still be replaying that opportunity that he had only a moment or so ago. Joined Hume City this season from Haukar in Iceland. 9 appearances for the Sri Lankan international team, a couple of goals as well. Yanakopoulos, oh, lovely little ball in behind for Will Bauer, who's off and running. Ball into the 18-yard box, can't get past Ashcroft. Callart, no Kane. Good pressing from Dandenong City. Forward. And now it's back with Asen Ishak. And DeBelle, who has looked dangerous on the left wing for Hume City, always wanting to cut inside. Kerdar's early release. Headed down and away by Lino. Kerdar. This time Hume City do win the foul. And, well, it was only a matter of time before somebody out there went in the book. And the winning lotto ticket number is number 6 of the white shirt, Thomas Yanakopoulos. And to be honest, that probably was not the worst foul we have seen this evening. It was definitely worthy of a yellow card. So Thomas Yanakopoulos is into the book for Dandenong City, and there's a war of words going on down below us. The fourth official, Leo Norgasevich, going over to have a chat with the Hume City assistant coach. The most important thing is that Kerdar's okay. And there's another set-piece chance here for Hume. And perhaps, maybe it's just a bit too far out for Kerdar to think about having a ping at goal here. The two-man wall for Dandy City, Latham and Mustafa. It has felt the last few minutes that Hume City are just starting to work their way on top. Kerdar into the back post. The header from Joel Russell, who rose highest. Again, it's another shot that will go down as a shot off target. Starting to stack up a few opportunities, the boys from Hume. They've been averaging 10 shots at goal so far this season through the first 3 weeks. Hume City, that's 7th in the league out of 14 teams, of course. Dandenong City have been averaging just under 14 shots per game, which is 3rd. This has been a match that has been played, I reckon, 75% in midfield. Long ball forward from Webster. Mustafa's beaten to it by Mark Ocheng. Oh, Weir had to be quick. He had Latham and Mustafa right up in his grill. Hoisted forward by Ocheng. Oh, that really should be a foul against Joel Russell, and it is. And it was so obvious that there were no objections from the Hume City crew down below us. Webster not happy with his long ball. Callart and Ford working together to try and get Dandenong City back, Hume City, I should say, back up the pitch. Oh, Callart, nice touch to bring it under his spell. Ford tripped up by Kenny Athew. For those that might be listening in who are here at the ground, we have our friends at the front of the grandstand who are doing a wonderful thing, checking blood pressure and I think blood sugar level and cholesterol levels as well. It's all free. You can go down and get a free checkup. Just trying to find the business card that I was given by Andrew to give you some more information. I've misplaced it. He's okay. Callart. Ball into the 18-yard box. Webster parks himself in front of Joel Russell this time. Oh, huge collision in midfield. Latham and I think that was Ashcroft. No whistle. Hume City play on. And Latham is still down in midfield, and now Lucas Matea is going over to check if Latham is okay. Certainly looked like a high boot. And just another challenge in this spiteful opening half between two teams who are desperate for victory. Dandenong City looking for their first win of the season after playing in 3 frustrating draws in a row. They've shown a lot of character and a lot of resilience through the first 3 matches, Dandenong City, but if they draw every match this season and get 26 points, that's not going to be enough to play finals again. Hume City, who have been a little bit hot and cold to start the 2025 campaign. Webster. Oh, that might have been a handball against Will Bauer. No, again waved away. And here come Dandenong City. Athew. Mustafa. Lambatarides is there, as is Ishak. Lambatarides wins the ball for Dandenong City. That's a good win. And now winning it back is Corey Sewell. Athew brings it down quite brilliantly. Lays it off for Jamie Latham. Latham twisting and turning, looking to find an angle. Headed away by O'Kane. Lambatarides crunched by Mark Ocheng, and Lucas Matea comes in and says it's a foul for Dandenong City within striking distance. And I've got to tell you, once again, the Hume City folk down below us thought that they should have gotten a foul in the build-up there. Well, perhaps they should go over to our friends in the grandstand and get their blood pressure checked right now. I dare say it'll be quite high. Lambatarides is still down. And Lucas Matea is coming over to the touchline, and he's giving a yellow card, not to the Hume City manager, but to one of the officials. And they're asking the question what that yellow card is for. Some profanities, I dare say. Of course, Hume City manager Ricardo Marchioli was booked last week for throwing a drink bottle in that clash with Green Gully. Didn't throw it at anybody in particular, but demonstrative behaviour all the same. As the war of words go on down below us, we ready ourselves for a Dandy City free kick. And they've got a few options that can strike them from distance. Jamie Latham, Lambatarides, Will Bauer even. Who's going to have their number called here? Looks like it might be the man who won the foul in George Lambatarides. He's the one standing over it. Lambatarides strikes and scores! George Lambatarides, he was the hero in the Dandy Derby last week. He brings the dead ball to life here at Frank Holohan. He scores for the second week in a row, and Dandenong City hit the front off the boot of their Greek god of bangers, George Lambatarides. Well, he's capable of that, Lambatarides. It was a sensational header to save a point at George Andrews last week. But that looked destined for the top right-hand corner the moment it left his laces. And Michael Weir powerless to stop it. And as we head towards the final 5 minutes here at Frank Holohan Soccer Complex, it's Dandenong City 1, Hume City 0. George Lambatarides with his second goal of the season in his first start. And he's making that look like a pretty shrewd move from his manager, Nick Tolios. And I believe I'm correct in saying that it's the first direct free kick that we have had scored in the NPL Victoria top flight this season. I may have to go and double check that at halftime. But it was sweetly struck. It's George Lambatarides. It's his 23rd goal that he scored in this, his 163rd appearance in the top flight. Of course, played a lot of football under Nick Tolios at Bentley, and now at Dandenong City. Jackson Leno surrounded by the Red Sea of shirts. Another robust challenge in midfield by Giannakopoulos. You can't necessarily say that Dandy City goal has come against the run of play. Hume City did look like they had sort of started to become the team with the momentum and control of the game in the maybe 5 to 10 minutes up until that goal. But it hasn't been a first half that either side have really dominated. It hasn't been a first half where either team has really looked that flash, to be perfectly honest. Okay, pumping it forward, but only for Jack Webster. Here is Lambatarides in midfield. Oh, on the outside of the boot, that's a decent delivery. The forward just out of frustration plays it off the backside of Will Bauer and behind for a goal kick. The Dandenong City in front, I did allude to this earlier in the first half. They've only led for 23 minutes this season, despite the fact that they haven't lost in the first 3 games. For the second week in a row, they take the lead. Webster again in control of that long ball, but concedes possession to Debele. Kida. Long ball for Callart, who brings it down beautifully right on the fringes of the 18-yard box. Kida shot deflected. Blocked and deflected, I should say, by Jackson Leno. Ford. Oh, a lazy pass. Well done there by Latham initially, and then his second touch was heavy. And back to Ashcroft and Ford all the way back to Michael Weir, who, as I mentioned, there's not too many goalkeepers in this division that could have done too much about that. George Lambatarides free kick, beautifully placed, beautifully struck. No doubt there was some fans in the Filipovic stand that caught that goal on their mobile devices. You might see that up on YouTube later on. Another turnover in midfield, and here come Dandenong City. Will Bowers into the 18-yard box, and terrifically denied by Michael Weir. Will Bauer must have thought he'd scored. Will Bauer firing across the goal mouth and down low, and with his big left glove, Michael Weir turning it behind. But a corner kick for Dandenong City. as we meander our way towards half-time. I'd love to double their money here. Lambatarides is at the near post. That's where the ball goes. It cuts its way all the way through, and then somehow it stayed out. And it was touched last by a Hume City defender, so it's another corner kick, this time on the near side. All of a sudden, Hume City looking all at sea defensively. It's Corey Sewell, I believe this is. I'm a little bit blindsided. Sewell sending it in. Michael Weir is there and captures it for his side. Plays it long into the night sky. DeBelle's popped up on the right wing this time for Hume City's fouled, or brought down, I should say, after he disposed of the football. Russell for Callart. Oh, I think looking back for Joel Russell. Would have taken something special to gain control of that pass. It was coming in hot. 2 minutes of added time to end this first half. It's been a very evenly yet spitefully contested opening 45. Hume City have probably shaded the possession. And to be frank, they've probably had the best opportunity of the match. George Lambatarides scoring from that set piece. Will Bauer, just a moment or two ago, drawing a quality save out of Michael Weir. Hume City looking for a late equaliser. Webster. And then hoofed forward by Lambatarides. Back by Ishak. Ashcroft. He's turned all the way back to his goalkeeper Michael Weir, who has to stay diligent here with Jamie Latham closing in. Riccardo Marchioli will be starting to curate his half-time chat. Probably won't be too disappointed with how his side have played, all told. Just letting themselves down a little bit with some of those passes into the final third that have maybe just lacked a little bit of quality. Kida, of course, that half-time chat could change a lot if they can find a goal. Ocheng. Ishak. Long diagonal. Lino has to have some sort of effect here because Callart was ghosting in behind. And Will Bauer can't construct too much there. Joel Russell, who has looked rather threatening in this first half. Bauer rattling down the left wing for Dandenong City. It's in for Kenny Atthew, who brought it under his possession, but just couldn't quite dig it out at the opportune time, and that will be half-time. Lucas Matea blows his whistle. It was a first half that was very hotly contested, very evenly contested. Wasn't a lot of golden opportunities for either side. Oliver Callart had the best opportunity for the away side with a header from point blank that he put over the crossbar. That was when the scores were still locked at 0-0. It was then a George Lambatarides super strike from a set piece that disappeared right up into the top right-hand corner. That is the goal that separates the two at half-time, and Nick Tolios' men disappear down the tunnel. Very happy with the fact that they have a half-time lead to build on. George Lambatarides, the goal scorer on the 39th minute. And for me, Brent Sternberg, and our cameraman James here this evening, we'll go and have our half-time oranges, and we will return to see what Hume City can do about it in the second half. But at half-time, the score at Frank Holohan is Dandenong City 1, Hume City 0. Welcome back, everybody. We're just about set for the second half here from the Frank Holohan Soccer Complex on a Friday night that's becoming rather cool out in the deep southeast of Melbourne. Dandenong City and Hume City, the home side sitting on a 1-0 lead thanks to a 39th minute strike from George Lambatterides, a direct kick that went spiralling into the top right-hand corner. That's what separates the two teams as we go for the second half. Hume City have got to try and turn this one around. And Ishak is on the front foot already, the centre half, going all the way to the penalty area. Looking to play in Russell, who leaves it for DeBelle, who got a little bit tangled up. Ocheng into the back post. On the front foot early, Hume. Here's O'Kane, who was able to snatch at a shot, but wasn't really able to put his boot through it. Pierce Clark smothers it. First half that didn't have a lot of opportunities in terms of goal-mouth action. 4 shots to 3 in favour of Dandenong City. Dandy City had 2 of those shots on target. Hume City didn't have a shot on target in that first half. And so Hajduk have a half-time lead to protect for the first time this season. They have not been front-runners by any means this year through the first 3 games. Long ball beckons through the night. Here's Mustafa. He and Ocheng shoulder to shoulder. And it's not a foul, it's a throw-in. Just housekeeping as well, there's no changes at half-time. The only player... No, I'm sorry, that was a free kick for Mark Ocheng, my mistake. The only player on a yellow card out there is Thomas Giannakopoulos. One of the Hume City coaching staff was also booked in that first half. Kedar, who was good in that first half, wasn't lights out by any means. There's Mark Ocheng down below us, I don't think has quite fully recovered from that knock he suffered just a moment ago. Here's Bingham in midfield, running at the Dandenong City defence. Kellart, who had Hume City's best chance in that opening 45 minutes, forward. And Kellart come out with quite a bit of energy here of Hume. Well, Kellart he's gone down, not by way of a foul, according to the officials, but he has stayed down, Oliver Kellart. So our official this evening, Lucas Matea, it is in the middle. If you weren't with us for the first half, he's going to check on the Hume City winger. Dandy City last year led at half-time on 11 occasions and went on to win all 11. Mark Ocheng in the back play here, just receiving a little bit of treatment as well. Both he and his teammate Kellart are fine to resume. Mustafa and DeBelle, those two battled willfully for their two sides in that first half. And Mustafa, his 26th birthday today, and his first start for Dandenong City. I don't think he was expecting that throw-in had come his way. Of course, Yakub Mustafa played for the Bentley Greens going back a couple of years ago now under Nick Tolios. He was playing in New South Wales last year for the Wollongong Wolves. There are some good players on the bench for both teams, but particularly for Hume City, who of course are now chasing the game. There are some quality types that Ricardo Marchioli can inject into this team, including Lloyd Isgrove. Ishak with a good tackle on Kenny Athew, who lays it off for Latham. He's being stalked. And as is Corey Saul, good work by Godfrey DeBelle. Hume City have another problem here. It's their centre-back, I believe, Asen Ishak, who might have copped one in the guts. Okay, it may not have been the guts. He's now limping, so maybe a lower limb injury. He gives Kenny Athieu a friendly tap on the shoulder and says, don't do that again. Corey Saw with a throw in. Latham, terrific in that first half. Mustafa, Giannakopoulos, back they come. Hajduk for Webster. Here's Inaba. Long ball forward. Lino's going to give chase, but eventually he loses out to Joseph Ford. Here's Lambettaridis, the goal scorer. Oh, Giannakopoulos leaves the football behind. And now he's got a problem with Kerdar, who brings it upfield for Hume City. It's great tracking back, though, by Giannakopoulos. Oh, and then Kerdar is brought down. And that's going to be our second booking of the evening. A mistimed challenge there from Jamie Latham, who is the second Dandenong City player into the book. And I think Jamie Latham come over and had decided that Burkhan had gone far enough. And that's not the first time that Burkhan has drawn some attention from the Dandenong City players, if you know what I mean. I mean, he's such a quality player. He's going to have the crosshairs on him all season, really, from opposition. Kerdar with the set piece. In towards the back post. Ndebele was going to let it run, but Ocheng was too far away, and now Dandenong City sprung loose. Mustafa, closed down by 3 red shirts. Great work there by Kerdar. Of course, his grandfather was one of the founding members of this particular football club, Holland Park, as they were known when they were established way back in 1979. They were then known as Coburg United when they were promoted at the end of 2007 into the top flight for the first time in 2008, and then they underwent the name change of Hume City. And this is their 18th consecutive season in the top division, Hume. There's only 4 teams that have been in the top flight for longer, and they are some of the big dogs. South Melbourne, Melbourne Knights, Green Gully and Oakley. Only those 4 teams have been in the top flight for longer than Hume City. 6 finals appearances, including last season, but yet to get into a grand final. A long throw in. Away by Inaba. Turned further afield by Latham. That yellow card a moment ago, incidentally, was Latham's second yellow card of the season. Of course, 5 yellow cards earns you a 1-game suspension. Bingham goes to ground, and now Latham. Long ball forward. Yaqub Mustafa watches it go over his shoulder, and now he's in a battle with Ho Chang. It's good work there by the veteran Hume City left back. Kerdar in a tight spot as always. Ashcroft for Ford. Hume City really have dominated the first 8 minutes or so of this second half. Bingham. Played off of him by Gaku Inaba. And behind for a goal kick. Dandenong City are going to go to the bench first. And we're going to see Will Bauer replaced by Vali Sesnik, who started on the bench this evening, had started the first 3 matches for Nick Tolios' side, the former Port Melbourne man. And we're also going to see Timothy Atherinos come on in place of Yaqub Mustafa, whose first start for Dandenong City will last 53 minutes. Two players in Sesnik and Atherinos who were probably just down on their usual output in the derby last week. Atherinos did send in a couple of really nice crosses and won some fouls in and around the fringes of the 18-yard box, but other than that, didn't have a huge impact. Oh, Athieu and Ishak. And Athieu's eventually won the foul. And 2 strapping lads going to battle. And our referee, Lucas Mateo, just wants both of those boys to come over and receive some counselling from him. And how much longer, I wonder, before we see Lloyd Isgrove for Hume City? Hume City, first and foremost here, have a set piece to defend. Into the near post, Atthew was there. It's cleared away by Hume City. Here's Atharinos. Into the 18-yard box, not a bad ball. It was an enticing one for Inaba. Ochang and Russell. Oh, once again, Kerdar is brought down, not fouled on this occasion. Sewell's early release. It's no good for Atthew. Marchioli again below us, adamant that that was a foul on Bikan Kerdar, and I think once again he's got a fair case. I was mentioning Dandenong City's record when leading at half-time last season. They only dropped 2 points all of 2024. Hume City did not drop a single point in 2024. They were the only side last year, Hume, to not drop a point from winning positions. The only side in the top flight, I should say, as Kerdar this time draws the foul. Hume City are going to go to the bench here. They're going to make a double change, and we're going to see Lloyd Isgrove enter the fray, as well as Dennis Yildiz. Here's Ochang, winning the ball in midfield. Kellart twisting, turning, shooting, and firing wide. And that may be the opportunity for Hume City to spring these two changes. Mark Ochang is going to give, or make way, I should say, for Dennis Yildiz. Dennis Yildiz, a 27-year-old. This is his third appearance of the season. And Lloyd Isgrove will replace Oliver Kellart, who has still had Hume City's best opportunity of the match. That point-blank header that he put over the crossbar. But he will be thinking about. He will have those images flickering through his brain as they drive home tonight if they're not able to turn this one around, Hume. But Lloyd Isgrove is into the fray, just shy of the hour mark. Ishak and Atthew go to battle again. O'Kane. Ford. Rolling forward now, the former Perth Glory player. It's a poor pass though. Again, Hume winning it back in midfield. O'Kane running down the tracks. Brought down by Lino. Again, no foul. They're growing restless down below us. City on the burst. Liam Batteridi's out for Atharinos, who's assumed his position on this right wing. His pass is smothered. DeBelle. Ricochets kindly for Bingham. Isgrove, what can he create? His first look in the front third. Oh, he's trying to dink it into the 18-yard box for Bingham, but Webster got in the way. Lloyd Isgrove, of course, scored 2 goals this season, both of them in that breathtaking come-from-behind victory over the Dandenong Thunder on match day 2. And if not for that 10-minute burst, as I mentioned in the preamble, they would have been winless. Here's Atthew on the turn. Oh, I think he was going for goal. He scuffed his shot badly. He did have numbers in the middle there, Kenny. Kenny Atthew with just 5 shots at goal on the season coming into tonight. 3 of them on target. He did score from the spot in that 3-3 draw with St Albans. As we approach the hour mark here at Frank Holohan, match day 4 in the NPL Victoria, and still it's Dandenong City 1, Hume City 0. And most of the first 15 minutes of the second half have been played on the terms of the boys in the red shirts. Oh, Russell was in a dangerous position in behind Inaba. Did well to interject. Here's Atharinos. Eventually got it through to Latham. And now Sesnick into the top of the penalty area before he's eventually dispossessed. And the ball back out of play on the far side. We're going to go around the grounds now. Another score check for you. At the home of the Matildas, that big matchup between Heidelberg United and Preston. Heidelberg United have the lead. A goal from Mohamed Aidara has the Burgers in front. Oakley now have a 2-0 lead over the Melbourne Knights. Joey Guest has scored both of those goals. And Port Melbourne and Green Gully is on the precipice of half-time there, still at 0-0. Here's Kerdar for Hume City. Still 1-0 here at Frank Holohan, of course. Dandenong City in front. The goal scorer is on the ball right now, George Lambatteridis. DeBelle getting in the road. Well, Hume City were known for their second half exploits last season. They scored 36 second half goals in 2024. Only Avondale scored more. Here's O'Kane picking up the scraps to the edge of the 18-yard box. Once again, he fires it straight at Pierce Clark. He's been good in midfield, though, this evening, Josh O'Kane. Looks like he may have been moved up into a striker's role alongside Josh Bingham. Speaking of the Hume City captain, he's drawn a foul. Yeah, Hume City, 36 second half goals. They scored 15 goals in the final quarter hour, which was the second most. And despite all of their huffing and puffing in the second half, they haven't really created too many clear-cut opportunities. But here's another one from the dead ball. Kieda. All the big boys are up at the back post. That's where it goes. It's bending and bending all the way into the grateful gloves of Pierce Clark, who's pretty keen to keep his first clean sheet at Dandenong City tonight. And Dandenong City haven't kept a clean sheet at home for a little while. They only kept one clean sheet at home last season. That was in a 2-0 win over St Albans. O'Kane. Ashcroft. Bingham on the turn. Down goes DeBelle. There's no foul. Bingham was reeling away from his contest, screaming in pain, but he's okay. Good work from DeBelle, keeping Corey Sewell honest. Nice first-time pass from Kieda, and Josh O'Kane goes right past George Lambatteridis. Here's Lloyd Isgrove, who's been inconspicuous since coming on. Looking to link up with O'Kane, shoulder to shoulder with Sesnick. Well, they both go down right on the edge of the 18-yard box. O'Kane still in possession. And O'Kane does really well, the young fella, to win a corner kick for Hume City. I mentioned him in the first half. He's just a 21-year-old. Despite only being 21 years of age, he's been at Hume City for 9 years. Dennis Yildiz is going to take the corner kick. Hume City on the precipice here of an equaliser. Yildiz hoisted in, it's at the back post, it's headed clear by Inaba and then Bakan Kieda. Well, with a volley from about 25 yards out. If that had gone in, that would have been something very special. Yet to open his account in a Hume City shirt, Bukan Kieda, in terms of goals. He does have one assist to his name. That was the goal last week The corner kick that he took that Harry Ashcroft scored. Webster. Sewell. Oh, again being harassed by DeBelle, but Sewell's strong. His pass, though, is wayward. Dandenong City coming into the match day in 9th on the table. Hume City in 7th. Still very early days, of course. They had such a great start to last season, Dandenong City. They only lost 2 of their first 9 matches. Kidder. Ford. Yildiz, who has replaced Mark Ocheng at left back. In behind for DeBelle. Back for Yildiz. Godfrey DeBelle on the ball now for Hume City. Here's Kidder. Oh, closed down and then dispossessed, in fact, by Yanakopoulos, who brings it forward for Dandenong City. Doesn't have anyone there to help him. Latham riding a couple of challenges. O'Kane was tripped up. I think that was from his own man. Here's Atharinos. Will run right at the Hume City defence. It doesn't mind shooting from range, Timothy Atharinos. You can't shoot from range when you don't have the ball. Up and back we go. Hume City take their turn. Oh, Pierce Clark outside of the box has made a bit of a meal of that. And Corey Sewell, I should say, has put that one into the next postcode. I don't think Nick Tolios and the Dandenong City coaches will like seeing Pierce Clark do that. They are relatively in control here. He is a goalkeeper that is prone to making some silly errors. Atharinos. Kidder. All goes past Yanakopoulos. Birkan Kidder! Well, the account is well and truly open now. It's a stunner from Birkan Kidder. And Hume City, who have huffed and puffed since half-time, have now blown the house down. And it's 1-1 at Frank Holohan. What a goal from Birkan Kidder. Well, the moment he picked the ball up in midfield, the instructions were clear from the bench, shoot. And shoot he did, and it's a magnificent goal for Hume City. And as we head towards the final 20 minutes, we're all back level. Dandenong City 1, Hume City 1. Birkan Kidder, whose granddad, as we mentioned, is one of the founding fathers of this football club. And that will be a very, very special moment for the Kidder family, who are perhaps here watching on in the grandstand, or maybe back at home watching on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Athier right across the 18-yard box. And Lambatterides, just as he was there to make contact with the ball, I think it was Ashcroft who was there to just put him off. The ball's gone behind and into the snake pit. Kidder scored 5 goals last season in 24 appearances for the Thunder. Isgrove, the turn, the cross, Russell at the near post, leaves it for DeBelle! Oh, and reaching for it is Pierce Clark, and he just does enough. And DeBelle wins a corner kick for Hume City, who are really starting to turn the screw now. And no surprises that it's Lloyd Isgrove who's been involved in it. They're two champions really in midfield, Isgrove and Kidder, who's going to take this corner kick. Looking for the lead, Hume City. Into the near post! And it's off the head of Kenny Athieu. And I have to be honest, it's a hideous own goal. And in the space of barely 3 minutes, Hume City have turned it right round and they're in front at Frank Holohan. It was a great delivery from Bakan Kirta. Put it right into an area where Pierce Clark couldn't really come to do anything about it. And Kenny Atthew, unfortunately, has put it into his own net. And Hume City haven't just turned this around, they've turned this match on its head in the space of, we'll call it, 2 minutes. Dandenong City have to start again. Remember, they only dropped, I should say, Dandenong City 2 points last season. They dropped 2 points last week. They did score first in the Dandy Derby. The Thunder were then in front at half-time before that late George Lambatarides goal. And we've got another yellow card here. And that is going to the Hume City manager. His second yellow card in the space of 2 weeks. Or 1 week, really. Booked last week in the 1-1 draw with the Gully. And booked again tonight. He has been walking a tightrope, I must say. Just moments before that yellow card, our fourth official down below us, Leo Chnorgasevic, came over and gave all of the Hume City officials, I should say, a warning about leaving the technical area. It's there for a reason. Atthew, who's keen to make amends after putting the ball into the back of his own net. Only a moment or two ago. Atherinos, Lino. Atherinos. Hume City players out there screaming for a handball. Well, one thing that they have shown a lot of this season, Dandenong City, even through the early stages of the season, is a lot of resilience and grit. They've had a lot of practice already playing from behind. And so it is to be again. Atthew with his back to goal. Inaba. Atherinos. Now Giannakopoulos. Now it's Dandenong City having a spell on the ball. It's given away though. Yildiz did well just to not fall on his face there. Oh, trying to cut it across into midfield, but Webster intervening. Sesnik certainly got plenty of goal-scoring options out there on the park. Have Hajduk. This is one of them. Sesnik. Chopped down from behind by O'Kane legally. Saul. This time O'Kane is taken down and a foul. How intense are Hume City going for a third. Long ball for Bingham. Isgrove. Bingham. O'Kane. Oh, it only just got to Ishak, who then turns it over, and Latham's first time ball for Kenny Atthew. He's already scored in one net. He runs flat stick into Asa Ishak. An uncompromising, robust and fair challenge. And Ishak, for the second time in this match, has been slow to get up after putting his body on the line for Hume City. And I think this might be serious. His knee may have just got jarred in that contest there. May have even been knee-to-knee contact. Bekan Kidar's just, well, it might be cramp in fact. Our official Lucas Matea is asking for the Hume City medical team to come out and administer some relief. As we have a short little break in play as we head into the final 15 minutes here at Frank Holohan. Take you around the grounds quickly again. We have an equaliser at the home of the Matildas. It's now Heidelberg United 1, Preston 1. A Luke Jego goal is enough for the Lions to get back on level pegging. We're about to head into second half stoppage time there. Oakley still leading the Melbourne Knights 2-0 thanks to a Joey Guest brace. Half time between Port Melbourne and Green Gully 0-0. It's a 2-1 lead here at Frank Holohan for the away side, Hume City, who trailed at half time. And then 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. Turned it around quickly. The goals to Burkhan Kirdar, a long-range effort, which will surely be in contention for goal of the round. And then an own goal from Kenny Atthew only 2 minutes later. And Hume City are looking to maybe go forward and score a third. And to make it good night from Frank Holohan. Sewell, only as far as O'Kane, Bingham, Yildiz, lofts it forward for DeBelle, who clashes into Jack Webster. And the flag had gone up. It had gone up for a foul on Godfrey DeBelle. Dandenong City look like they're going to go back to the bench in just a moment. Danny Kim will be injected into this match. Webster, they've liked these long balls tonight, Dandenong City. Not too many of them have been effective. It's a cool and calm header back from Adenas Yildiz for Michael Weir, who is now just toying with Jamie Latham. It's going to be a double change, in fact, for Hajduk. Danny Kim and Diego Cuba will come into the match. Long ball forward for Hume. Webster gets underneath it. Back in from Kirdar. Russell trying to work it on. He knew DeBelle was there somewhere. Here's Isgrove. Hume City are going to make a change of their own at the next stoppage. Mehmet Uysel will come on. Banged forward there by Dandenong City, but Kenny Atthew was lurking in an illegal position. Looks like we might have a double change for both teams. Jamie Latham, who is on a yellow card, is replaced by Danny Kim. And Diego Cuba has now come on from the bench in 4 straight matches. He's on to replace Thomas Giannakopoulos. The 2 Dandenong City players that were on yellow cards. Long ball forward for Hume. Webster again. Feasting on those long balls. Sewell. Timely interception there from Kirdar. O'Kane. Forward. Now Isgrove. Back for Ford. And all the way back to Michael Weir. Yildiz. Here's Russell. Rides the challenge of Corey Sewell. Just run out of room. They will get the throw in, Hume City. We're going to see Mehmet Uysel come on as well as Michael Domfey. And Michael Domfey, I should say, will be replacing Joel Russell. And Mehmet Uysal is going to come on for Gabriel De Belle, who has looked very threatening tonight down the left wing for Hume City. And Gabriel De Belle has disappeared right up the tunnel, looking to get to the water while it's still warm, perhaps, with his side leading 2-1. Oh, Uysal did well to get out of a bit of a tight jam there, but ultimately dispossessed. Little back heel there from Kuba. Sesnik. And O'Kane trying to barrel his way through. Draws the foul. Much to the chagrin of the 3 Dandenong City players that were involved in that contest. We're into the final 10 minutes. And both of these teams have shown a propensity already this season to score late goals. It looks like Dandy City are going to have to rely on a late show once again. Their fans watching around the place must be getting mighty sick of that proposition. Atharinos keeps it going forward. Ishak, he wanted no piece of a foot race with Kenny Athieu. Takes no risks whatsoever. Have they got a second goal in them, Dandenong City? Inaba. Lino. Inaba and now Webster. Sesnik. Diego Cuba just trying to flick it into the 18-yard box, and out rushes Michael Weir and jumps on the grenade for Hume City. Shows you just how quickly things can change. I mean, Dandy City, after they scored that goal, looked to be really comfortable in the lead. Just hold that thought as Lloyd Isgrove picks it up in a dangerous position. He retreats for O'Kane. Now Ford. It's being watched by Lino into the near post. Away by Inaba. Now picked up in midfield by Lambadaridis, who is dispossessed, completely mugged by Bakan Kirdar. He come up behind him with his knife and said, "Give me your lunch money." Now it's a foul going the way of Dandenong City. Dandy City are going to make another change here. The goal scorer George Lambadaridis will make way for Nathan Hancock. Or Willie, we've got Jackson Lino down. And the Hume City coaches down below are saying, well, the paperwork's already been lodged, so you've got to make this change. And I believe this will be Dandy City's final substitution. It will be. So will there be any charity afforded to them by our referee Lucas Mattia? Jackson Lino is the one who has gone down. He was not the one that was scheduled to come off. George Lambadaridis made his way 3/4 of the way off the pitch. And Jackson Lino is heavily limping. And I think Jackson Lino is going to come off and receive some treatment first and foremost. And Dandy City will play with 10 men for just a moment while they work out what they want to do. But I dare say that is going to be the change. Lino is, taking his seat on the bench, so that is who Nathan Hancock is going to replace. So George Lambadaridis. Well, Nathan Hancock has gone onto the pitch. He's being told to wait by the fourth official. Now, the fourth official did threaten him with a yellow card. And then he gave the fourth official, Leo Cnorgasevic, a mouthful. He probably should have been yellow carded just for that. Ultimately, I think all that was a bit of miscommunication between our fourth official and the man in the middle. But Nathan Hancock is lucky that he wasn't yellow carded. There's a foul now in midfield going against Timothy Atherinos. They're growing ever frustrated. Dandy City, the players at least. A foul on Josh Bingham, who looks like he may well go 9 straight games without scoring for Hume City, which will be his longest goal-scoring drought since joining the club. Of course, he won't care too much about that at all if Hume can hold on here and win. Long ball forward, beyond Domfey. Sula clearance, helped on by Hancock. Matthew down for Hancock, who bangs it forward. Michael Weir on the edge of the 18-yard box, and well played by Joey Ford, who heads it back to his goalkeeper, realising that the ball probably wasn't going to make it that far on its own. So it's still not going to be a clean sheet for either of these goalkeepers. We actually haven't had too many goalkeepers keep a clean sheet so far in the NPL Victoria season. We've had a lot of games decided by a 1-goal margin. Are we destined for another one here? As Corey Sewell heads it back for Pierce Clark. Great work there by Michael Domfey. It's another first-year player here. It's Cuba. Well, good work to get in behind. I think they've played the advantage here, the officials. Atherinos, the step over. Ford, great defending. He's had a terrific match out there at right back for Joseph Ford. For Hume City, I should say. Joseph Ford for Hume City. Yeah, Michael Domfey was with Northcote City last season. He was the Golden Boot winner, the equal Golden Boot winner in the VPL 1. 16 goals he scored. He finished equal with Archie McPhee of Lang Warren. Oh, Atthew, dangerous. Good work by Kim. Sesnick. Now Kim. Oh, going in, Kira, uncompromising, but City have the ball. Dandenong City, that is, although Corey saw just a little bit too much mustard on that pass. One more substitute to come for Hume City. It's going to be the young boy, Obiora Eze. Throw in for Hume. Oh, it's gone straight back out of play. Disappointing way to give back possession. 88 minutes played at Frank Holohan. A game that the home side led. Going into half-time. Is there an equaliser to come here? Oh, it's just cleared away by Isgrove as Atherinos was winding up. Inaba may have had his shirt pulled. Webster. Long ball forward. Designed for Sesnick. A little bit too tall for him. Yildiz plays it away. Domfey will turn. Was he stymied there by Jack Webster? There's no call from Lucas Matea. Sewell. Atthew for Sesnick. Numbers in the box, right across the top of the penalty area, and Atthew couldn't control it. He's the one whose goal is currently the decisive one, albeit for the wrong team. Or shallow back pass. Pierce Clark has gone down, and it's a walk-in for Michael Domfey. It is a third goal for Hume City. Pierce Clark wriggling around in pain. All sorts of pain being felt by Dandy City, who have lost complete control of this one. Domfey scores for Hume and wraps it up. Michael Domfey's second goal for Hume. He scored on match day 1. That was a consolation goal in that loss to Preston. And that's a goal to put it away. And the man who started it with his long-range strike, Pekan Kirdar, will come from the pitch to be replaced by Iberian Eze. What a second half performance from Hume City. Their manager, Riccardo Marchioli, made a big statement ahead of the matchup with Green Gully, saying, we are the fittest team. We are the fittest team in the league. If you want to beat us, you have to run through us, around us. And they have well and truly shown that this evening in the second half. 5 minutes of second half stoppage time. It's surely not enough for Dandenong City to score 2 goals and rescue a point this evening. O'Kane, the young man who's been terrific in midfield for Hume this evening, playing it long for Oisal, who was offside. Well, we were mentioning earlier on this evening that Pierce Clark is prone to making errors like that, but it was the back pass from, I think it was Corey Sewell. Didn't have anywhere near enough on it, and he really put his goalkeeper in a tough position. Yildiz, they're going for a fourth, Hume City. Eze on the edge of the 18-yard box. Bingham. Lloyd Isgrove. His shot blocked. Away by Anaba. This is an all-out Hume City assault now. Bingham, that was a nice turn, but the ball wouldn't quite sit for Eze. Sesnick took his eye off the ball. Hume come forward again. Lisal on the edge of the 18-yard box, taken off his toe by Sewell. Long ball forward. Athew, he's onside. He and Ishak go to battle again. Athew to the byline, and it may have gone out. It did. It's a goal kick for Hume City. They are in raptures on the bench down below us. They probably felt like they were a little bit unlucky to be behind at half-time. They shaded the possession. Didn't have a lot of clear-cut opportunities to show for it, but they did have the best opportunity of that first half. And only moments after that opportunity was squandered, George Lambatarides scored a worldie of a set-piece goal. But they've corrected course. It was obviously a great half-time team talk curated by Riccardo Marchioli. Hume City are on their way to their second win of the season. Foul in midfield, right on halfway, George Lambatarides. And that just shows how goals can change games. I mean, it was a moment of magic from Bakant Kirdar, and then an ordinary own goal from Kenny Athew that put Hume City in front. Those goals came only 2 minutes apart. And from there on, really, it's been all Hume City. And Michael Weir can't go too far here. He goes all the way to the byline. I think that was Diego Cuba who chased him all the way. Dandenong City have back-to-back away games coming up against Green Gully next Friday night before a trip to Altona. A couple of matches that they will give themselves every chance of winning. As I just go and rescue my cheat sheet here. So, Hume City next time they are at home against Altona next Friday night before they're away to Heidelberg United for a rematch of that thrilling elimination final. Lambatarides into the box. Hancock is there. And Hancock was offside. Well, no doubt they're going to pick apart probably the second half, Dandenong City, more so than the first half, and try and work out where this match all went wrong. Not quite getting enough from their impact players. Domfey, he couldn't score a double, could he? He's hit that pretty well, but it's just curling away. We've just about played the 5 minutes that we were promised. Hume City counting down the seconds before they can celebrate a big away victory. They probably come here tonight as slight favourites, and they've got the job done. Away from home, Hume City come from behind at half-time to score 3 second-half goals. And it's the second win of the season for Riccardo Marchioli and his side. It was George Lambatarides who scored for Dandenong City right on 39 minutes. A brilliant set piece it was. Hajduk led at half-time. It was then a long-range effort from Bakan Kiadar on 68 minutes that really got Hume City going. 2 minutes later, it looked like an own goal from Kenny Athiu. It's gone down potentially as a Joel Russell goal. And then as we've got some issues down below us here, Nick Tolios getting involved with a couple of the officials from Hume City. And they're just trying to keep Nick Tolios out of this. He's not happy with something that has been said. No doubt this is something that Football Victoria might have to get involved in and, hand out some repercussions. And Tolios is being pushed away, but the fracas is going on behind him. The referees are blowing the whistle and trying to get the guys to go to their change rooms. It was 2 goals in 2 minutes for Hume City, and then it was an 89th minute Michael Domfe goal after a terrible error from Dandenong City at the back. They'll be disappointed with that. It was a pretty good showing in the first half. They deserved that lead at the main break, but a brilliant turnaround in the second half for Hume City. They have declared that they are the fittest team in this competition. If you're going to beat them, you have to outrun them and you have to outlast them. Dandenong City were not able to do that tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that match tonight. We've got some more matches coming across the weekend. We've got 2 tomorrow, Avondale and Melbourne Victory. And Altona are hosting the Thunder, and then Monday night football at Lakeside, South Melbourne and St Albans. You can watch all of those matches on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. But for now, good night from Frank Holohan Soccer Complex, where the final score is Dandenong City 1, Hume City 3.